Why is it that when a woman expresses her sexual needs, society still flinches? Why is it that a woman's desire, something so fundamentally human, so natural, is met with suspicion, discomfort, and judgment? Men have long been allowed to speak openly about sex, about their needs and their experiences, without fear of being diminished or condemned. In fact, male sexual desire is often seen as a sign of strength, of confidence, of masculinity. But when a woman dares to speak that same language, when she expresses her desire openly, without shame, she's met with labels. Promiscuous. Loose. Easy. Damaged. Why? Why is a woman's pleasure still treated as something dangerous? Why is a woman's body only celebrated when it's being offered up for male consumption, but condemned when it's being claimed for her own fulfillment? From the time we are young girls, we are taught to be careful, to sit with our legs crossed, to dress modestly, to avoid giving the wrong impression. We are told to protect our virtue, to guard ourselves against the male gaze, and to fear the consequences of being too available. But what does that teach us, really? It teaches us that our bodies are not truly ours. That our sexuality is something to be managed, controlled, not explored, not embraced. Boys are taught that their sexual awakening is a rite of passage. Girls are taught that theirs is a threat. We are conditioned to believe that our sexual desires are dangerous, that they make us vulnerable, or worse, that they make us less valuable. A woman who knows what she wants and expresses it is often treated as though she's crossed some invisible line. And if she actually enjoys sex, if she seeks it out for pleasure rather than obligation or procreation, well, now she's dangerous. She's not just confident, she's too much. But the truth is, women's sexual needs are just as real, just as valid, and just as worthy of fulfillment as men's. A woman's desire does not make her dirty or immoral, it makes her human. Sexuality is not just about the physical act, it's about connection, intimacy, self-awareness, and empowerment. When a woman expresses her needs, when she asks for what she wants in bed, when she explores her fantasies, when she communicates openly about her body, she is claiming ownership over herself. And that is power. But too often, that power is met with fear. A sexually confident woman threatens the status quo. She challenges the idea that women's bodies exist primarily for the pleasure of others. She disrupts the narrative that men should be the pursuers, the decision-makers, the ones who hold the key to desire. When a woman stands in her sexual truth, when she demands satisfaction and pleasure without shame, it forces people to confront their own discomfort with female autonomy. And that discomfort is rooted in centuries of control. Women's bodies have long been sites of political, religious, and cultural regulation. From purity rings to modesty culture, from slut-shaming to victim-blaming, the message has always been clear: a woman's body is not her own. Her sexuality is to be feared, suppressed, and controlled. But why should it be that way? Why should a woman feel guilty for wanting sex, or for not wanting it? Why should a woman feel ashamed for having a one-night stand, or for waiting until marriage? Why should she have to justify her desires to anyone? A woman's sexuality is hers alone. It does not need to be explained, defended, or excused. We have to stop treating female sexuality as a problem to be solved. We have to stop punishing women for embracing their pleasure. Women have the right to feel good, to enjoy their bodies, to explore their fantasies without judgment, to communicate their needs without being seen as aggressive or demanding. A sexually empowered woman is not broken. She is whole. She is honest. She is in tune with herself. And yet, the double standards persist. A man who has multiple sexual partners is experienced. A woman who does the same is reckless. A man who openly discusses his sexual conquests is confident. A woman who does the same is attention-seeking. A man who enjoys sex is fulfilling a natural biological drive. A woman who enjoys sex is corrupted. It's time to dismantle these toxic narratives. A woman's sexual pleasure is not dangerous, it is her birthright. A woman has the right to experience her body fully, to discover what brings her pleasure, to say yes when she wants to and no when she doesn't. To explore her sexuality on her own terms. This isn't about promiscuity. It's about freedom. Sexual liberation isn't about how many partners you've had or how adventurous you are in bed, it's about feeling at home in your body. It's about knowing that your desire is not shameful. That your pleasure is not a weakness. That your needs are not an inconvenience. So to the women out there who have been shamed for wanting too much or not enough, know this, you don't owe anyone an explanation. Your sexuality belongs to you. You don't need to shrink yourself to make others comfortable. You don't need to apologize for wanting pleasure. You don't need to feel guilty for exploring your body, for asking for more, for knowing what you like. And to the people who judge women for embracing their sexuality, ask yourself why it makes you so uncomfortable. Why is a woman's pleasure threatening to you? Why is her confidence in her body something to be mocked or diminished? What does it say about you that you feel the need to control her desire? Women's sexual needs are not secondary. They are not shameful. They are not dirty. They are natural. They are human. And they deserve to be seen, heard, and respected, without judgment, without fear, and without shame.